breaking news here about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and general manager Jason Licht. As you can see right here, the Bucs have tweeted out that he's just become a member of the Automobiles Association of America, which means if he has a flat tire, he's taking care of it. Oh, wait, I'm being told that's not what that is.
Oh, it's not roadside service?
No, I'm saying apparently that's a universal love for the draft that Jason Licht just had. He joins us right here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm sorry I got that wrong, Jason. Normally I'm buttoned up on my information. Jason.
Well, I'm glad there was a third A on there. It just didn't say AA.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Licht, everybody. Good to see you, man. How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Well, what's the life of a general manager like the Wednesday after a draft? You know, what's it like?
Well, getting ready to drive down to Fort Myers because my oldest has a playoff lacrosse game tonight in Fort Myers. So
okay.
Going against a school called the Canterbury School, so that sounds like a really good lacrosse team.
Right.
To be honest.
and so, if being the dad that you are, if your kid wins, you're gonna have a towel with his face on it and run right up to the star player of the other team and wave it, just like what happened in the Pacers Bucs game last night, Jason. Right?
Absolutely, 100%.
You're gonna run right on the field. You're gonna do that sort of okay. Yeah. In all seriousness, though, I mean, this is now. What, like a period to reconnect with your family right now after the last 2 months, basically? Last 8 months?
It is. This is kind of the period for all of us for, you do some staffing things, some, promotions and pay raises and that kind of stuff for people that really deserve it. And then, get ready for OTAs and stuff, which is kind of just fun to watch the guys that you put the team that you put together with your staff. So, but now also getting home in time for dinner and watching practice and hanging out with your daughter, your sons. So it's kind of a fun time. They kind of are shocked. Well, why are you home? So they're used to life without me. Now I'm being reintegrated into their lives.
That's right. Now you must generally manage your way back in. I understand that. All right, let's jump into being on the clock, 19th overall, that 10-minute period. How many calls were you getting? Since that was, right around the spot, a lot of people were thinking a second quarterback could go in that first round. Walk me through what your phones were like in that 10-minute period, Jason.
Well, a lot of the calls are made before the draft. Typically, those calls, really, most of them start on Thursday morning. Start calling behind us or in front of us, telling them we might be interested. I mean, everybody's kind of the same. Depends on what's there. We might go up, we might come back. But we had made a decision. There was a group of players that we talked about that we thought could be there at 19. Emeka was one of them. And Emeka, we had made the decision that no matter how many of that group of players that we coveted at that pick, if Emeka was one of them and he was there, we weren't going to move back. We were just going to take him because I'd, hate to run the risk of trying to get cute, moving back a couple spots, and then, the team behind us or a couple teams behind us, traded out or they took him. Wouldn't feel very good. So we just turned the card in.
Well, speaking as a Wolverine who would have white knuckles every single time he caught a ball while he was at Columbus, I understand why you would consider him special, but why did you put him as that guy? Like, if he's there, we're sticking and picking. What made you think that?
Great player. He was super high on our board, top 10 on our board, kind of stood out like a sore thumb. Unbelievable character, football character, the type of guy that we look for, the epitomizes the type of player that we want in our locker room, that would fit in with our locker room. And because we have a great group of guys, never been better. And to be honest with you, I've had too many Michigan people over the years. We finally got rid of Brady. Spytek finally got out of here. We had to sign Ben Bredesen back because we needed, he's a good player, nice. But I needed to offset that with an Ohio State player.
Nice. You want to be fair and balanced. I get it. Well, while you brought it up, you ruined what I was doing from the set in my spare time, Jason, which was texting all of my Buckeye friends about how there was a big fat zero of Buckeyes taken in the draft at that point in time, and 3 Michigan Wolverines had gone off the board. Oh, man, when Zabel went on like North Dakota State before the Ohio State, I was having a great time. You ruined it, Jason, by taking this kid.
I'm sorry about that. I wasn't thinking of you, and that won't happen again.
Come on, Jason. Got to think of me in these situations. But I imagine Baker's very happy with this draft choice, I imagine. Right.
Very, very excited for players like Baker, especially, Baker himself. He can never have too many receivers. I wouldn't be surprised if he's up in my office next week saying we need to, trade for another big time player. So receiver. So he can never have too many. So
you went after Egbuka, and your next 4 selections were on the defensive side of the ball. Is that best player available, and you just look up, go, oh, we got 4 guys in a row on the defensive side of the ball, or purposeful targeting by you, Jason?
The way we arranged our board, of course, you want to do it by talent. But this year, when there was any kind of ties or they were close in talent, we favored the defensive player. And with Emeka, it was just a clear, he was a cut ahead of the players at that point in the draft. But the rest of the draft, it went just kind of the way we needed it. We needed some help defensively, especially in the secondary. Can always use pass rush. We'll never turn that down. And we've got some good players we felt like are going to really help us out in coverage, and then also some really good pressure players in David and Elijah. So we're really, really excited about all of them, and they're great character fits as well.
Is it a relief to go through a draft not quarterback needy, Jason?
More than you can imagine.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked that question. I'm wondering what that's like.
I've only really been through it once, but we're very, very happy and very, very fortunate that we were able to go from the GOAT to another awesome player that's excellent leader for us. And I mean, we're just fortunate. I got to pinch myself every day. I don't think we even realize how fortunate we are.
Well, I mean, just to dig into that more, is it because that's a position where, sometimes you got to throw the board out the window because you got to push the guy up because there's such a need, it's such an important position that is a relief for a general manager? You're shaking your head. It's like, because I'd love to get more into that mindset, Jason. People
do crazy things for the quarterback position. And I mean, I'm not unlike them. I'm not saying that I wouldn't either. So they trade crazy amounts of picks, future picks, mortgage their future, crazy amounts of money to do whatever they can to hopefully land a quarterback that is going to be good enough to take their team to win with to the playoffs. So quarterbacks generally get pushed up higher than what they normally deserve to be in the draft, to be honest.
How much do you factor in your division in doing what you're doing? I know you've won your division 4 years in a row. So, I understand you might potentially, and no disrespect, set your sights on how to take that position and win against other conference opponents. But I'm just wondering how much you factor in the 3 other teams in your division, knowing that you got to get that settled first before going higher up.
Well, I think we'd never take any team in our division lightly. We've got, a good rivalry going with all of them. And it doesn't matter what the record is at any given time with any of these teams. We're always, we're never going to take them lightly. That's just the best way to say it. So I don't care who you're going against. You need to be able to rush the passer. You need to be able to score points. You want to have the best possible quarterback you can. You want to be able to cover. So you take them into account, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Those are premium positions, no matter what division you're in. Quarterback, pass rusher, offensive line, defensive line, corner. So I think it would be the same, to be honest with you, no matter what division we were in.
Well, the last thing you want to do as a GM is have constant change at important positions, certainly on the coaching staff. It's another new offensive coordinator for you. Jason, it's 2 years in a row now, at least, in which you've lost your offensive coordinator to another team's head coaching position. What can you tell me about this offense with another change at that position and what you've been able to build and hand off to the 2025 staff, Jason?
Well, one thing that we love is the continuity, and Todd felt very, very comfortable with Grizzard as our offensive coordinator because of the relationships that he had with the players. He was in the quarterback room, particularly with Baker. Baker's felt very confident, very comfortable with him. And, he's a really, really smart guy that's been in some different systems. He's been with Mike McDaniel. Now he's been with Liam, which is an offshoot of Sean McVay. So, I mean, he's a really sharp guy, and it was a seamless fit for us. And so far, it seems like it was a great decision by Todd.
Jason, like a couple minutes left with the GM of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I asked this of Howie Roseman when he was on literally an hour ago. It might be an hour since I asked him this question. What's your opinion of the phone calls being made, the prank calls being made, and how to prevent this from happening, Jason? But for the grace of, the football gods goes anybody with the way that this thing all played out. No one wins in this front. Everyone loses, and clearly it's something that's got to stop because it wasn't just Shador who got pranked. It was a handful of others, and I don't know how that happened, but I'll give you the floor as one of the 32 general managers here on this front. Your thoughts on it?
I just think it's classless. It's these guys, it's their biggest weekend of their careers so far. And for it to happen, it's just not really, it's kind of inexcusable. We, my wife and I, last night actually at dinner, talked to our kids about it, hoping that they learn a lesson from it too. They're, we got a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, 11-year-old, and, a young mind might think it's funny, but just kind of show them what the repercussions are what if something like that is done, not just to them and their family, but more so to the family and the person that it happened to. So I think it's classless.
So we were talking to Howie about it as well as to what to do, because first of all, you're not going to stop calling kids, right? Because again, I'll give you the floor. It's important for you to know that they're healthy, alive. I'm not being flippant, like that. You've got to physically talk to them before drafting them, right?
Right. I've been thinking about this. I don't know what the solution is. It might be just simply that we get their numbers, but we have to FaceTime them so they know who they're talking to,
right?
And then of course, the AI may get involved and people try to somebody may put on a mask that looks like me or something. I don't know, but I think that might be the best way.
Yeah, I mean, like that's as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a video of Andrew Berry FaceTiming Shador when they drafted him. I think that it was just like, screw it, we're gonna show our faces to the kid who's been pranked already. I think that happened, Jason.
No, it did. It may be the solution.
Okay. So what is next? What is your next order of business of work? Once you're done reacquainting yourself with your family, like what is in fact next for you here?
So just getting ready for we're in the middle or the beginning of OTAs right now. The rookie minicamp is always an exciting time to see your new draft picks come in and all the rookies and the undrafted players that we're very, very excited about as well. And just maintaining the roster over the summer, but getting ready for our summer break, which everybody's looking forward to. But I know we got a little work to do before we get there. But got to be honest, everybody's already kind of planning out their summer, what they're going to do with their family. I know I am.
I know, I bet. And then there's one more membership meeting. Where do you stand on the tush push? Well, how did you guys vote the last time?
Full transparency. You know what? They developed something that they're very good at, and we stopped it once, but I don't know why we would want to punish them and take away something they got very good at just because they're very good at it. I guess we need to keep up with the Joneses and try to become very good at it as well, or do what we can to stop it.
Well, wouldn't it be more fair if you could have somebody push into Vita Vea right, on the other side of it, or that now that officially makes it dangerous. I'm serious.
Yeah, I know there's a lot to it. We just signed a very large defensive tackle from the University of Florida, and those two would be a heck of a tandem to do something like that with. But yeah, we don't want to make it more dangerous. So I'm going to let the people above me, above my pay grade, figure all this out. But like I said, kudos to Philly for being very good at something.
Thank you.
Among other things.
Well, I mean, again, that is definitely one of those things that I think a lot of people are pointing out. At least we were. Is that it does smack a little bit of a you can't stop it, try and legislate it out. Like it does smack of that. To be honest with you, Jason.
Yeah, I feel a little bit of that as well.
Who's that kid you got from Florida again? How big is he, Jason? How big is he again?
Big Desmond.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's lost quite a bit of weight already. So he's over 400 pounds.
That's right. I've heard. My son told me about him, Jason. I'll be honest with you. My 14-year-old told me he's 400 pounds for real.
I think he's over. But he's a heck of a player. I mean, he was a top recruit right outside of Tampa here out of high school in Armwood High School. He hasn't missed any time at Florida, and he's a pretty good athlete. He's hard to run at. I'll tell you that.
6'6", 460. He was listed at. That's what he's listed at. You can confirm, right? That is. My God. Honestly, has your guy Grizz thought about maybe you do put him on offense, and that's the guy that you push of your own self? Seriously.
Well, they did. They used him on offense a little bit. He had one carry at Florida, and we got Vita. Vita was a running back in high school, so I mean that's we can have a little fun with this.
For sure. Jason, thanks for the time. Enjoy the lacrosse that you're going to for your kid, and then your reconnection. As you know, I'll say it on the air, and I told you this. I saw you at the Combine. You're one of my favorites. Thanks again for doing this, brother.
I appreciate you, Rich.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.